What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. For those of you that have been here before, thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you for coming back. Those of you that are new, welcome. I hope you enjoy this video. Maybe check out some of my other videos. Hopefully you get something out of this channel. If you haven't done so already and you're feeling a little sassy and a little saucy, go ahead and subscribe while you're here. And if you want to keep up to date with me and know when my next video is going to be out, go ahead and hit the notification button as well, just so that way you can keep up. I've been a lot more consistent lately, but no promises on how long that's gonna last. All right, so for today's video, I know you guys have seen like grocery hauls before, but I figured I would show you guys like what my staples are when I go to like a regular grocery store, you know, not Costco, not Trader Joe's, not Aldi's, just your run-of-the-mill, regular, basic grocery store. And just some tips and tricks that I implement and that I have found to be useful to eat healthy on a budget. It's so easy to go into the grocery store and spend way too much money, and I feel like the one complaint you hear from people or excuse that people have not to eat healthy is that it's expensive, which yes, it can be, but if you're smart about it, it doesn't have to be. So I'll show you guys kind of what my go-tos are, and then some of the like things that I do to kind of keep cost under control. So here is what I got today. I got two 12 packs of seltzer, pink grapefruit and coconut. I got a dozen of free-range eggs, gluten-free pretzels. Those are like my kryptonite for some reason. I got 3 of these Ellie Quark yogurts, which are kind of a treat on my day off, and then just plain non-fat Greek yogurt. I got romaine, pray for me I don't get sick, 2 things of cherry tomatoes, bag of spinach, a carton of egg whites, bananas, zucchini in that bag, celery stalks in that one, a bag of frozen broccoli, frozen strawberries, and frozen pineapple chunks, riced cauliflower, a couple of avocados, cucumbers, and free-range ground turkey. So those are kind of like my usual go-to groceries. Things that really help me save money on groceries. First thing is make a list. Do not go into the grocery store without an idea of what you're gonna buy, because then you're gonna go in and you're gonna be like, oh, this looks good, this looks good, this looks good, and you're gonna end up buying all of these things that you don't need, and you're gonna walk out and be like, what am I gonna do with this food? Like, I didn't buy stuff I can make meals out of. Along those lines, have an idea of what you want to eat for the week. I know some people have a hard time planning meals ahead of time, but like for me, especially on work weeks, I will plan ahead, or at least have a general idea of what I want to eat for breakfast, lunch, and snacks at work. And so that way, when I go into the grocery store, I know exactly what I need, and I don't, again, walk out with all this random stuff. Do not go to the grocery store hungry. That is something that I am super guilty of. And even if I go into the grocery store hungry, even though I have a list, I'm way more tempted to buy snacks and just little things here and there because I'm hungry, and then I end up spending a lot more money than I had planned on. Don't be afraid to buy generic. I feel like generic brands still have such a bad rep, and like, yeah, there's some things I'd rather buy brand name, but like if you take a look at what I bought a lot of things generic. I bought generic seltzer, I bought generic egg whites, generic spinach and tomatoes, you know, and they're generic frozen broccoli and fruit, and there's nothing wrong with generic, and a lot of the time generic is just as good as the brand name, but it's a lot cheaper. Now there are some things that I won't buy generic, like I prefer not to buy generic meat, unless it's free-range organic meat. I'll buy that generic, but I won't buy generic eggs. Generally I buy brand name free-range eggs. I think some things are worth spending that extra money on, but then a lot of things honestly, at the end of the day, really aren't. The generic is just as good as the brand name. Don't be afraid to buy frozen food in terms of like fruits and vegetables. Like for me, I bought frozen pineapple because honestly, when I buy a fresh pineapple, I'm way too freaking lazy to deal with it, and I end up throwing out half of it, which is a total waste. Frozen, I know I will use in my protein ice cream and in my smoothies, like more than buying fresh. And that, you know, that can be true for a lot of things. Like if you say you like broccoli, but you hate buying a head of broccoli and dealing with it, and you just end up throwing it out, don't bother with the fresh, just buy the frozen. The nutritional value on it really is as close to as good as fresh. And if you know you're someone who's not going to deal with prepping and just dealing with fresh produce, if you can buy it frozen, go ahead. Like cut out that middleman, buy frozen. It'll last you a lot longer if you're not going to eat it all within that week, and it's just a lot less wasteful. Look for things buy things when they're on sale if it's something you use regularly. Like for example, last week I bought 2 gallons of cashew milk because it was 2 for $6. And to me, that's worth it. I mean, I go through a gallon of it, like one of the cartons of it, in about a week, and it's something that it can sit for a while, so buying 2 at a time was worth it for me. And it ends up saving me like a couple of bucks, you know, and a couple of bucks here, a couple of bucks there totally adds up. Also, if you can, buy things in bulk. So generally, even though I bought ground turkey today, I generally don't buy meat at the grocery store. I go to Costco about once a month, and generally I will stock up on fish and on meat, especially chicken, while I'm at Costco. It's just, you get a lot more bang for your buck. They have organic, free-range chicken, and per pound, it is significantly cheaper at Costco. So I tend to buy all of my meat in bulk, like I said, once a month when I go to Costco. Now, if there's something that I want, you know, that I don't eat regularly, like let's say like pork tenderloin or ground beef, or steak or something, I'll pick that up at the grocery store because it's not something I need huge quantities of, because I don't want it taking up my freezer space if it's not something I eat regularly. Things like that I will buy intermittently at the grocery store. Another thing that's good to buy in bulk are grains. Like for me, I will buy my quinoa and my rice at Costco, so I come home with like a 30-pound bag of rice. Is it kind of ridiculous? Maybe, but it's per pound, it's a lot cheaper than buying a pound at a time at the grocery store. And if you've got the space for it, it's totally worth it. You know, I eat rice almost every day of the week, so buying a 30-pound bag of it in the long run really pays off for me. A couple of other things that I love eating but I hate prepping and dealing with are green beans and Brussels sprouts. Like I hate trimming and cleaning them up, and so I will buy them, like green beans I will buy trimmed and cleaned, and Brussels sprouts I like to buy shaven. Does it cost extra? Yes, because you're paying for the convenience of it, but in the long run it costs me less because there's like 100% chance I'll eat them before they go bad because all the prep is already done for me. Whereas if I have to prep them myself, there's a good chance that a portion of them will get thrown out. And I hate wasting food. So I'd rather pay that extra bit and guarantee that I'm gonna eat it. So for all of this, like, I know it doesn't look like a ton, but a lot of this stuff, like the seltzers, the eggs, the egg whites, those will last me more than a week. So, you know, I came home with all of this stuff. You know, it's like that's a fair amount of food. That's like a decent grocery haul, especially for most of it being like produce and whole foods. I spent just over $70. It was like $72 or $73. So really, you know, for a week plus worth of healthy food, it's really not that expensive. Now, granted, there are, you know, some weeks it's gonna cost more, like if I run out of peanut butter, or if I needed milk this week, you know, things like that. Like some weeks it's gonna cost more, some weeks it's gonna cost less, but I'd say on average, I spend about $70 a week on groceries, which really isn't bad. Now, granted, once Jordan is down here, groceries are gonna cost me a lot more, and, you know, I mean, we take turns paying, but, you know, for example, we eat a lot of different things, like especially with me being gluten-free, I a lot of the time also have to buy like the gluten version of things. So yeah, when it's the two of us, I mean, groceries run me a lot more a week. But if you are, let's say you're single, or like you're a college student, or you know, whatever it is, and you know, want to eat healthy and you feel like it's too expensive, just know it is totally doable. You can totally make things work within your budget, you know, like again, like look at things that are on sale, but like that you'll eat, you know, definitely you can do that for produce. And honestly, like don't be afraid to clip coupons. Like I'll admit I do not coupon, but I have a lot of admiration for people that do, especially if you can find coupons for things you're going to use regularly. I feel like I'm starting to get all over the place, but another thing that has definitely saved me money is do not buy like cosmetics and drugstore type things at the grocery store. I find that it generally is a lot more expensive. Like I don't buy deodorant, I don't buy toothpaste, mouthwash, makeup, hair products. I don't buy it at the grocery store. It's not worth it. It's a lot more expensive. I either get it at, sometimes hair products and cosmetics I can get at TJ Maxx, but anything else, honestly, I'll get at like a Walgreens or at Walmart or Target, just because they tend to sell those kinds of things for a cheaper price than at the grocery store. Like those aren't like the big things that like grocery stores are going to make money off of, and I think that's part of the reason why they charge more of it. So just a few things to keep in mind. All right guys, so I'm gonna end this here. Hopefully this was helpful to some of you that have been struggling with trying to eat healthier, especially if that's one of your goals for this new year. You know, it's only February, like you have time to still start working on your goals and to still crush them for the rest of the year. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If not, give it a thumbs down. I don't care. Either way, the feedback is always very appreciated. Like I've said before, sure, I love to come on here and rant about random shit for 10 minutes and then at the end of it be like, I don't even know what I just talked about, but hopefully you got something out of it. But also, it's helpful to know what kind of videos you guys like and what's helpful or useful or entertaining, whatever, just so that way I kind of have an idea of what you guys would like to see more of. As always, my contact info and my Instagram handle are down in the description box, along with my discount codes. Like I've said before, I don't make any money off of those, but those are companies that have given me codes and that I enjoy, and so I figure I might as well spread the wealth. And you know, you might as well save yourself a little money while you also support some awesome small businesses. Yeah, that's it guys. Again, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.